seems to be an issue over what I mean when I say the truth. Um, right off the bat, get the easy shit out of the way. The truth and a truth are different. And this is a natural consequence of the grammar of the fucking language that we're speaking. Right. The way that I would internalize it, it would be that a truth operates within a logic, right? So it's dependent upon specific axioms, and right, you have to make certain assumptions for a truth to arise from them. So this is kind of like the sort of classical logical truth sort of thing, right? So like, if yada yada, then this follows as true. That kind of a truth. Okay. The truth, and I feel like this is just a consequence of me not being a retarded individual. The truth internalizes for me as being more something much more profound than that, right? So this is going to be something that's sort of like an actual axiom of the universe, right? Like an axiom in your logic, you could change that theoretically. Whether you actually have the personal ability to get down to that level in your mind is a completely different question. But theoretically, if we could just formally lay out this logic, like, okay, so these are the axioms, and these truths are following from it, each one of them being a truth within the logic, but none of them necessarily being the truth, right? So I can understand how somebody might not grasp the nuance here, but yeah, when I say the truth, I don't care if anybody can perceive it. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't care if I can perceive it, because I'm a person. I'm automatically included when I say, I don't know if anybody can. I'm including myself automatically, right? I'm not a narcissistic fuck. I'm not like, oh, but me, I'm special because I'm white. And no, that's not fucking how it works. If I say I don't think anybody, I'm including myself. I'm including you. I'm including everybody, right? Any body includes everybody. That's just how English works. The language that we're operating in is what these things mean. To have another meaning would require some really bizarre use of language that makes no goddamn sense. I'm not Bertrand Russell. I don't sit here like just fabricating stupid shit, calling it philosophy, and then I'm a genius. No, that's not how this shit works. I'm just using the English language. Anybody includes myself. See? Body. There's a body here. I am a body. Right. So, when I'm talking about the truth, and when I say it's how the world actually works, how things actually work, there is definitely some realm, domain, whatever word you want to use, I don't give a shit, that operates in some specific way. Whether it's materialistic, whether it's supernatural, whether it's whatever, it's psychic energy, I don't care. There is a way that it operates. There are things that are true of it. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the truth. I'm not trying to get into some like ridiculous pedantic philosophical, oh, you use the word true differently than my tradition uses it, so you can't do that. I'm not getting into that fight. No. Also, I realized the other day that kind of the reason that I use like a sort of a sissy, effeminate, gay uh, thing to mock is because most of the nonsense intellectual people that I've dealt with in my life were that way. So it's for my personal idiosyncratic experience. That's why. Yeah. Um. Fuck. Yeah. No. So that isn't a that's a truth for me. It's not the truth, right? Good example. Good example. It's not the truth that somebody who actually behaves that way normally deserves to be mocked. That's not the truth. That's absolutely nope. And I'm gonna make an active effort to stop doing that. But it's just like built into my brain at this point. Like it's gonna be hard. One of those axioms that what I was referring to earlier. It's whether you can individually override your own axioms. That's a different question than if we have the luxury of laying out a formal logic on paper and like choosing our axioms. Those are two completely different questions, right? Because of how your mind works. Yeah. Yeah. So another thing that would be like a truth and is not the truth is something like 1 plus 1 is 2. That's a truth because you have to assume something for this to work. Well, for it to extend to things like 6 plus 7 is 13 and 23 minus 10 is 13 and things like that for that system of arithmetic to operate, there is a fundamental axiom that you have to make, you have to have, but nobody really mentions it, which is that your units are commensurate, right? So like if I take one cow and one chicken, there's 6 legs there. So here 1 plus 1 is 6. But the reason is because our units are non-commensurate. But in the real world, your units are not necessarily commensurate. So it's not the truth that 1 plus 1 is 2. That is not the truth. It is a truth. And it requires specific axioms. And honestly, if at this point you're still confused and you still think that I disagree with you, that like when you can look back at my videos and see that I criticize the shit out of science, if you still think that I'm defending science, well, you're an idiot.